Well, so many familiar faces out there, and I am so happy to welcome you all here to the place that was so special to my dad and also to me. My name's Julie Cudahy, in case you didn't figure that one out, and on behalf of both my family and the Cudahy Foundation, I would like to welcome you to Milwaukee Lakefront and celebrate Discovery Worlds and the legacy of Michael Cudahy. I do want to say one thing about my dad. I hope that this legacy that we're doing will continue to get people to think out of the box and to not give up and to keep going and pursue your dreams. And there are many of you that, as Bruce said before, are young, and they probably don't even know who my dad was, which is kind of sad in a way. But we have some great exhibits here. We have some incredible kiosks, and of course the book Joy Works. So educate yourself and learn about Mike, and maybe you might look at the world a little different. And it is my honor now to introduce another Wisconsin icon who served as the United States Secretary of Health and Human Services, the 42nd Governor of Wisconsin, and a great friend of my father, Tommy Thompson.
Well, first off, I am really excited to be here. I just left Green Bay, and I'm a very proud grandfather. Two of my granddaughters are on the Edgewood basketball team, and they won today, and they're playing for the state championship tomorrow night. And they're both sophomores, and I have to say I'm very, very proud to have two granddaughters on the same team. Bruce, thank you very much for what you've always done for Discovery World, what you did for Mike Cudahy. John, the same goes for you. I really appreciate meeting with you and getting a chance to talk to you and realizing how important. Julie, thank you for your kind introduction. My relationship with your father was not always that pleasant. I loved the man, but sometimes he was hard to love. My first interaction with Mike Cudahy was out at Marquette Electronics. I was running for governor clear back in 1984, and Fred Luber, who was married to Ann Luber, his cousin, Mike's cousin, made arrangements for me to meet your father. So I went out to Marquette Electronics to see if I could get him to support me. And I went out there, and Fred had set it up, and I went in and asked if I could see Mike Cudahy, and the lady came out and said, he doesn't want to see him. And I said, oh, okay. And as I was leaving, he came out and said, who are you? And I said, I'm Tommy Thompson. I came over here because Fred Luber asked me to meet you. I'm running for governor and would like to have your support. He said, I'm not a resident of Wisconsin. I'm a resident of Florida because your damn taxes are too high. And I said, well, I'm going to change that. He said, well, come on now, I'll give you 5 minutes. 2 hours later, I have been through the Marquette Electronics, went in and met the new nursery that he had set up for all of his employees' children. And we were playing, he had me down on the floor playing with these kids, and all I wanted to do was have them say yes, he was going to support me. And then my most pleasant time was with Lisa and Mike Cudahy when we went to Ireland. We flew over to Ireland, and Mike's father had been the ambassador, and Mike had lived in the residence in Ireland. And so Mike wanted to have a tour of it. So I arranged to have a tour of the house for Mike. And we went through the tour, and she said, oh, it's a great house. We Irish just love it here, and we're so happy you're here, Governor Thompson, to see it, and with your friends, the Cudahys. And I said, yes, we're here. And he says, it's a glorious place, except we had one tragedy. And I said, what was that tragedy? Well, there was a young boy staying here with his mother and father, and he was a radio ham operator. Mike was always tinkering, and he was one of the youngest ham operators in the world. And so he was up on the rooftop tying a wire, and he fell through the skylight about 20 feet down with broken glass all over. And she said, and the little boy died. Remember that, Lisa? And Mike says, oh no, the little boy lived, and that's me. And everybody laughed who was there, and Mike got the biggest thrill out of being able to correct history that he was still alive. But Mike Cudahy was a giant. He loved Milwaukee. He loved a good time. You talk about early times. My memories with Jameson. Every time I was with him, there's some time, somewhere in the world, it's 5 o'clock, Tommy, it's time for a Jameson. And we would have a Jameson. But his birthday is on March 17th. What a fitting day for an Irishman that loved Ireland, loved his ancestors, loved this wonderful city. And every place you go around here, something Mike Cudahy touched. And I spent a lot of time with that gentleman, and what a thinker, what a visionary. And he loved this place. He loved this place because he wanted to do something for the kids of Milwaukee. He wanted young boys and girls to have the opportunity to come over here and learn. Mike was a beautiful individual that always looked out for future generations and to make Milwaukee just a better place to live and to work and to play. That's Michael Cudahy. So Michael, may the road always rise to meet you, and may the wind always be at your back, and may the sun shine warm upon your forehead and the rains fall soft upon your fields, Michael. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand. God love you. God love all the people here to rededicate this wonderful building, this vision, this idea for a great Irishman, a great American, a great Wisconsinite, and somebody that loved Milwaukee, Mike Cudahy.
Yo!